But beyond these, my son, be warned. There is no end to the making of many books, and much study wearies the body. When all has been heard, the conclusion of the matter is, fear God and keep his commands, because this is for all humanity. For God will bring every act to judgment, including every hidden thing, whether good or evil. That's Ecclesiastes 12 to 14. At the end of the day, we're going to get hit with so much information, so many books being piled upon books about other books, trying to explain things, discrepancies about other books. The biggest con job of all time is trying to get people to disbelieve the books that are in the Bible. The Bible isn't just one book. It's a compilation of many letters that make up a book when you put a hard cover on it. But these were letters passed down, written by prophets, by apostles of God, witnesses to Jesus Christ. 2 Timothy 3 says that every word in the Bible was inspired by God. So it was written by man. But you want to ask some people, would you feel better if it was written by angels? Would you believe that they were angels? God can do anything. And the whole book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11 before it says, just as you don't know the path of the wind or how bones develop in the womb of a pregnant woman, so you don't know the work of God who makes everything. God makes everything. His ways are so far above our ways, as is the east from the west. We think we know, and we write books, and human minds that want to disprove God so they can supplant him write books based on human knowledge and science and all these things, distracting us from the truth. And the teacher, King Solomon, in this book of Ecclesiastes, who starts it off, vanity, vanity, everything under the sun is vanity. And he had everything this world had to offer, including hundreds of wives and concubines, which does not make God happy. That's one of those things that's very controversial. I always wonder, man, this guy had everything, including all these wives. He allowed them to sway him from the Lord, but he wrote these. Clearly, he was a man after God's own heart, just like his father, King David, who did some of the worst things in the Bible, but repented. That's what's so amazing about God's gift through Jesus Christ, is that when you repent and humbly submit yourself, admit that you've done wrong, you can still be set free from the punishment that we are due when we become ashes to ashes, dust to dust. When we go to our grave. The end of 12, it says, and the dust returns to the earth as it once was, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. Everything is futile. That's how the book of Ecclesiastes, the whole chapter ends. Everything is futile. Everything in this world goes away and is temporary. And all the forces in this world are colluding to have us only focused on this world. So that we put all of our stock here thinking, there's nothing after this. And a lot of people believe that. They joke about, I'm going to party with Satan, as if it's not real, but even if it is real, that it's not going to be a bad place. Heaven is waiting for everyone who submits themselves humbly and obeys the Lord. So again, everything can be summed up. Fear God and keep his commands. His commands through Jesus are to love one another as he loved us. But he reproved us. He rebukes sin. Because if we all follow our flesh and do the things we want to do, how does that affect other people? We all like different things. We're all going our different ways. Imagine if we're on the highway and you decide you just want to turn around, or you just want to jump into the right or left lane. Somebody else maybe feel comfortable going slower or faster. There'll be crashes galore if we're not following some preordained law that is meant to keep us in line so that we can all drive in harmony together. But the God of this world wants us doing our own thing so that we collide, that we crash. God's law was never intended to strip us of happiness or joy. It was meant so that we could all have joy in him, loving him first, keeping his commands. Everything else will fall into place. It's the same thing while we're here. So I pray this finds you well. If you're ever feeling a heavy spirit, which I did today waking up, get into the book of Ecclesiastes. You'll see someone who had it all in this world and still felt this way. So then it tells you where to start planting your seeds and sowing for the harvest of heaven. I pray this finds you well. God bless. See you tomorrow.